Stop for a second. Look at your wrist. If you're wearing a watch right now, there's a very high chance it's on your left hand. Not the right. Not randomly. Left. But here's the real question. Did you choose that, or were you trained to? And if you're not wearing one right now, picture every watch ad you've ever seen. Left wrist. Almost every time. That's not an accident. Wristwatches weren't always normal. For a long time, men carried pocket watches. Then World War I changed everything. Soldiers needed to check time instantly, without reaching into a pocket. So they strapped watches to their wrists. Now here's where dominance matters. About 90% of people are right-handed. So naturally, they wore the watch on the left wrist. Why? Because the right hand needed to stay free, for weapons, for writing, for equipment. It wasn't about style, it was about survival. And that decision stuck. Now look closely at your watch. On the side, there's a small dial. That's called the crown. Almost every watch in the world has it placed on the right side of the case. Why? Because when the watch sits on your left wrist, your right hand can easily adjust it. But if you wore that same watch on your right wrist, every time you bent your hand, the crown would press into your skin. Small detail. Huge design consequence. So manufacturers standardized everything around the left wrist. And once manufacturing locks in, culture follows. But here's something most people don't realize. Left-handed people exist. A lot of them. So why didn't the design flip? Because mass production favors the majority. Once watchmakers built millions of units with the crown on the right side, it became cheaper to keep that layout. Then advertisements reinforced it. Movies reinforced it. Military uniforms reinforced it. Parents copied what they saw. And suddenly, wearing a watch on the left wasn't just practical. It was normal. No one questioned it anymore. But here's the twist. There is no rule. In fact, some luxury brands make something called a destro watch, with the crown on the opposite side, specifically for left-handed wearers. And some professionals, like pilots or divers, wear watches on the opposite wrist for tactical reasons. So the left wrist rule isn't a rule. It's a design tradition. This is how everyday behavior forms. One practical decision, adopted by majority, mass-produced, repeated for decades, and eventually, it feels like common sense, even when it's just history. So next time you see someone wearing a watch, look at which wrist it's on. You're not just seeing a habit, you're seeing a century-old design decision, hidden in plain sight.